Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes just because a lot of people are still joining. So give us a couple of minutes and we will be with you very shortly. Thank you. Just another 50 seconds because there's still some people coming, not the same rate as in the last 3 minutes, but I will wait another 50 seconds and I will start. Okay, let's start. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you all for being here, attending this another webinar for us at Togal, one of our series of webinars that we do every month. So if you are new and it is your first time here, first time knowing about Togal, or first time in the webinars, welcome. And for those who have been seeing our webinars frequently, also great to see you again. My name is Johnny Maghzal. I work on the product side for Togal. People who know me, but for the people who don't know me, I've been with Togal for the last 3.5 years now. Before Togal, I used to be an estimator. So I know what the estimators feels like, and basically we make sure that we are building the tool for the estimator. Today, this webinar is a little bit different than all the other ones because the previous ones we used to be one person from Togal talking about an update or a new release or a new big thing that we are working on or something like that. But this time it's a little bit different. This time we have a guest, and this guest is Scott. So I will introduce Scott in a minute. But what we will be talking about today is if you were on our previous webinar, it was about Togal.GPT, which is the incorporation of ChatGPT with a layer of Togal on top of it. And it was done by our CTO, Oleg, or Alexander, known as Oleg. He talked and he discussed deeply ChatGPT, Togal.GPT, I mean, and its uses and all the nice things that it can do for users. But today we brought a real user, a real life user, which is Scott. So welcome, Scott. This is Scott. He works at Coastal Construction, which is one of our clients. And I will, Scott, first of all, thank you for coming with us and thank you for the time. I just a quick intro for you, like just to let the people know who you are and what you do. So can you tell us, first of all, what do you do, what projects you work on, and how long have you been in the construction industry?
Hey, so I have been in the construction industry for 15 years. I am currently working on Block 55, and my job is I'm the project manager for the building envelope, predominantly focused on structure, but also the glazing and all the exterior elements to seal the building, essentially. Yeah.
And how long have you been working in construction?
15 years.
Oh, wow, okay, 15 years. Yeah, obviously much more than I have. But this is, first of all, thank you again, Scott, for being with us and for again taking the time, just sharing with us how you are using Togal. But this is a very interesting time for Togal, for us basically, because as most of you know, when we started Togal, it is a quantity takeoff tool, and usually quantity takeoff tools are dominant on the pre-construction side. But because of this new movement to the web-based, new possibilities and new use cases are being opening for us. And one of them, for example, which is again with Scott and a lot of other companies as well, is people are using our tool on the job site now a little bit more than before. Again, this is not the main purpose of the webinar today, but I just wanted to mention this point. So what we will do today, very simple. I will brief you a little bit on the capabilities of Togal.GPT, which again, I will, what they say, I will pick up on what Oleg said previously. So I'm not gonna like, again, invent the wheel after what Oleg did. But briefly, Oleg discussed high level how GPT and generative AI and LLMs, like large language models, work and how they are changing the industry. But there are some specific use cases that we have learned with our users. Obviously, when we released Togal.GPT, we released it as a beta, which is still in that form. We released it as a beta for one main reason, and that reason is because we wanted to learn from the users what possible and what the optimal use cases for Togal.GPT could be. And some of the use cases that appeared are the following, like specifications. So people are uploading their specification documents, which are like big stack of papers or documents, and they are asking it questions about, and I think there is one example that Scott will show us today. Contract documents, similar, people are uploading contract documents and asking questions about the contract, specific stuff about submittals, contract durations, things like that. Schedules and tables, some people, for example, you have a door schedule and you can, people asking it, what is the size of window type, blah, blah, and it goes to that schedule and gives you answers. These are, again, another use case. Drawing notes, if there are any textual information on the drawings, people are also able to extract that knowledge quickly using the Togal.GPT. And generative text, also sometimes it proposes to use stuff that are maybe not on the drawings, but it's a proposal, like it generates a text for you. So these are generally what we have been hearing and what type of feedback we have been getting from our users. But as I promised you, and why we have Scott here, is we want to show you some real life cases. So Scott shared with me some screenshots from what they are doing on their job site, and I just pasted them here. So we will basically, I'm going to show you the screenshots, like this one, for example. And Scott, if you please, can you give us a background about a little bit about this picture and why, for example, the question was answered? What was the situation in which the question was answered, and what did you guys and ladies on the job get from the answer?
Sure, no problem. So I was walking with the owner and we were reviewing the stucco mock-up to get acceptance before we started the work. And when the stucco mock-up was being reviewed, the architect commented that he wanted a smooth finish in certain areas.
Okay.
And we had gone to contract 2 years ago, and I didn't even remember what I had specified in the contract. So, I wasn't sure, but I knew that it sounded wrong. So I asked the Togal.GPT through WhatsApp real quickly while I was outside, what is the stucco finish that we qualified in our Q&A. And then I went further and I double checked that that's what we bought from the subcontractor. And with that information, we were able to determine that I was able to on the spot tell the owner, well, hey, this isn't what you bought from us or what we bought from our subcontractor.
Sure.
So if you want that, it's going to be a change order. And with that information, it allows everybody to make decisions much more efficiently rather than going back to the office and digging through contracts and we call it Exhibit A's here at Coastal of scopes of work.
Sure.
So it just allows us to resolve the issues in real time, which is big for us because on these gigantic projects, actually, you have so many subcontractors, so many scopes of work, and anytime that I don't have to pull my superintendents out of the field and they can get the information they need in the location they're at without coming back to the office, that saves them time and allows them to focus on bigger things. And it just, streamlines efficiency for us. And that's what we've been using it because previously, they would have to either come into the office, check with a PM, or they have their binders on their desks that are filled with all the scopes of work and our prime contract with the owner. So it just allows them access to all the information much quicker. And to my surprise, they'll be answering questions through the Togal.GPT without me even knowing it or ever coming to me because they're able to solve it on their own without getting the PMs involved and stuff because they're going to show, hey, they'll show their maybe their subcontractor, hey, this is what your Exhibit A scope of work says as it pertains to this item. And
yes,
that information helps resolve things.
Very interesting. Okay. And so basically the main thing is that it gives you answers basically quickly so you can solve the problem on the spot. This is the efficiency that you're getting from it.
Exactly.
Okay, I can go to the next one. Can you tell us a little bit about this one? What language is included in X subcontractor pertain to water stops?
Yeah, so typically on projects we have our waterproofing subcontractor as well as a shell subcontractor. And in this specific scenario, there was a debate between the shell subcontractor and one of the superintendents as to who needed to supply the water stop on an amenity deck. And if the type being supplied was within their contractual obligations to supply, or if it was an additional cost to the contractor. And it was identified that they do owe it, and they owe the RX water stop or an approved equal. And this is part of a little bit of a bigger story, but it gave us the information right there to identify what they were contractually obligated to provide and whether it should be an additional cost to the contractor or owner. And so in this case, they needed to provide a water stop that was an approved equal to match what the waterproofer was going to be installing. And so that you have a same manufacturer for all the water stop being applied, because if it's voids the warranty, if it's not the same type in a lot of cases from the same manufacturer, excuse me. And in this case, the type that they were intending to supply was not by the same manufacturer as the waterproofing subcontractor. So
Okay.
this resolved, they did owe it, and that just because it said RX, or approved equal, well, they had to provide an approved equal because it wasn't compliant with the waterproofing manufacturers.
And in this case, you uploaded a contract, like a subcontract, the contract of subcontract, or is it an Exhibit A as well? Like it's in these.
In my for my current project, I have uploaded all of my subcontractors Exhibit A's, and
All of them.
yes,
Okay,
all of
good.
them.
I see what
Because
you mean. So you upload
and
everything, and then whenever you need it, whenever you have a question, it is already uploaded, so you can ask the question on the spot, basically.
exactly,
Okay,
So
I see.
I've given all the Exhibit A's and my prime contract a ton. We try to give it as much information as possible because since I've started using it,
Okay.
notice that the more information we give it and the longer it has it, the better the responses
Response.
we're getting.
Okay. Of course. Okay. Okay, we can move to the next ones, Scott, as well. I want to give a little bit of background on this because I see the screenshot. I don't know the background of the question or the use case, but this screenshot is from a WhatsApp. So what we did is for certain companies that we're working on, and those companies that are coming to us and they are very interested about Togal.GPT and incorporating and making it even more accessible for their people, not on a laptop or on an iPad. There are 3 companies that reach out to us. One of them is Coastal. And we proposed that we can link this to their WhatsApp. So we can create a WhatsApp channel, and the documents that they upload in Togal, they will be able to prompt those documents through their WhatsApp, and the answer comes back to their WhatsApp. And again, this is making a big difference because not every company has laptops for all their job people, not laptops, I mean iPads. And this is helping a lot. But Scott, can you, sorry for that tangent, but can you take us a little bit through this one, to this example?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So this was for the garage screening of the project I'm on. And so just to give you a little bit of background, my current project is like eight floors of garage and then goes up. It has 2 towers for residential on top.
Sure.
And we were working on our 90-day look ahead to schedule the work for the installation of this garage screening. And we have multiple we have stucco on the outside of the garage, we have garage screening, we have vegetated garden walls. It's a little bit complex. Sure. So I couldn't remember what the scheduled durations were for the garage screening subcontractor. So I simply just asked what the contract what the contract durations were in the WhatsApp, and it spit it, it responded back with these answers. And right there, it just tells me what they owe me and what I need to plan for the installation. What the answer I was looking for was installation is 14 weeks. And so with that information, we were able to, plug it into our schedule.
Okay. So you are using it for schedule planning purposes as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. So again, this is why it's not tricky. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of questions. I promise you all I will answer them. So give me another like 5 minutes and I will answer the questions. What I wanted to say here is these use cases, we would have never been able to knew that they even existed, like the ones that Scott is talking about. And this is the reason why we are trying a little bit to innovate very much ahead of the curve, because giving something to the users and trying to get feedback from them to be able to build the right product, not the product that suits us as Togal, but the product that suits the industry, really takes time, because like we had to have Scott and like 5 other people other than Scott in different companies to set this up for them. back and forth, meetings just to learn from them. So this use case, for example, I personally haven't thought about it, but again, so many of these use cases will pop up, and based on these, we will keep enhancing the tool. And I think we have, Scott, this one here is also about contract documents. You asked it, what are the liquidated damages for the garage if delivery is 40 days late? And it broke it down for you. Anything specific here?
This one I just found it interesting because I wasn't sure if it could do the calculation. So I just have a potential situation that may be on the horizon, and I wanted to see mitigate. I wanted to mitigate the risk and see what the actual risk was. And I asked the Togal.AI to, based on the information I had, what would the amount we would be at risk for be.
Sure.
And with that answer, it spit it out. And then I was thinking, does it include the grace period? And I mentioned that to it, and it said,
oh, interesting. Now I see this. The follow-up question, basically.
Yeah, apologies for the oversight. And then it corrected itself, which was even more interesting to me. So
very interesting.
It learns extremely quickly, which is pretty cool. And I just started noticing, based on questions I'd asked it, say 3 months ago, that it would give me a sentence back maybe for those questions. And now it gives me several line items in the response back. So I just thought this was
obviously, Scott, this is obviously the more data where you're putting in, the more it becomes able to extract contextual information in it. But I also would love to give credit to our engineering team, because they first of all put this up in less than 3 weeks. It's crazy. I personally haven't seen any software company that would speed something up like this in 3 weeks period. So again, I cannot talk enough about our engineering. Obviously, I'm biased. So let's go to the last one. I like this one because there was a picture in it from real life. So can you tell us about the last one here, and then I will answer the questions, and then we will close the webinar.
Okay, so I bought out my glazing subcontractor about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
To mitigate escalation. So what's in the scope of work? Yes, I remember, but do I remember it all off the top of my head? Absolutely not. And we have been having challenges with this subcontractor to seal the building, because here in South Florida, we're in hurricane season and we get rain like crazy. And so it's great that the windows are installed, but if they're not caulked, then it doesn't really do much good.
Definitely.
Well, to be completely honest, I didn't remember my subcontractor was fighting me on caulking the windows, stating that there was, grout debris from the cement mason above, and that he didn't owe it to, he didn't need to clean that off. Now, with this, I didn't remember, but I just, I asked the ChatGPT, what does the Exhibit A state about caulking glazing? And it's back, subcontractors shall prepare the slabs and adjoining surfaces. Now, this specific item I've obviously double scoped with my shell subcontractor. But with that being said, it allowed me to tell my glazing subcontractor, hey, I'm not saying you owe all of this, but if this can just be scraped off, get the windows sealed so that we don't have an issue with, sealing the building and water intrusion. And so it helped solve a big conflict, because we literally had swing stages dropped, which they had dropped, and they weren't doing the work because they did not want to do the surface prep. So this was a big one for us.
Okay, that's obviously understandable. There's always this tension, who is gonna do what and do what. So this is good that it using the Togal in the WhatsApp, the Togal GPT maybe sped this up, because it made it faster. Because I assume that if you couldn't have the answer on the spot, you would have to go to the office, maybe walk to the job or to the office and open your files, blah, blah, blah. You're spending at least an hour of time to maybe get this piece of information.
Yeah,
So
and I don't know if there's anybody who's a subcontractor or on the other, on the
yeah,
call, or what people's various positions or companies they're with are, but a subcontractor, it could use the same principle
same
so that they
principle.
know what they owe and make sure that they're not doing more work than they're supposed to. Because I see that happen where, subcontractors don't know what they're responsible for, because the guy who signed the contract is long
Yes,
gone. He's in pre-con or in the
yes,
office
yes,
somewhere.
yes.
And so there's just, it's kind of like telephone where, the message gets lost in translation, and the guy out there, people just don't know what they don't know.
Definitely, yeah, I totally agree. And again, it is now a lot of I go to a lot of conferences and conferences, especially about like pre-construction and tech. And the main subject right now is the communication. It's always communication in construction is always an issue. And the more we can do and build features to speed up this communication between, regardless who the parties are, between any two parties that want to make sure that they are talking about the same thing, will obviously bring a lot for the industry. I think that's the last one. Thank you for that, Scott. The last thing I want to mention here before answering the questions is the future of Togal.GPT. As you might see now, most of the stuff that Scott showed us were maybe related to textual information. Like the text is there, Togal.GPT will reason, will look at the text, make some connections between text on different documents, and give you answers. But the next natural step, which again, something that we have been working on since GPT and OpenAI released this amazing tool, is connecting the text with the images, with the graphical, with the photographic, not photographic. I mean, like the visual part of the drawing. And this is the challenge here. And we have done a lot of progress there, and we are expecting to release something very soon. I don't want to say how soon because again, I don't want to like put the engineering team on the spot. But I can tell you they are working like super hard for this, because we know how much this is gonna bring to the industry and how much efficiency to everybody. So again, this is the future of it. I hope you like this picture. Uh, but this is a picture of an astronaut holding a flower. Somebody prompted on OpenAI. But again, the future now for us, the next at least step is, uh, as I said, the visual part of drawings, like what is the square foot of these spaces on this building? Where is this thing on this building? Things like that, again, connecting the text with the visualization and give an answer to the user. I know we still have a minute. Actually, we have a little bit more, but I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes answering questions. So I had a lot of questions. I don't know if I can answer all of them, but let's try. So there's a question for you, actually, Scott, and there are some other questions I will answer. Okay, so let's start with yours, Scott. What schedule documents did you upload? Is it a P6 schedule? Like when you, let me go back here. I think they are referring to this one. Did you upload a P6 here, or is this part of the submittal that those durations were put in the submittal, or how did you do it?
That's actually the way I spelled it out when I wrote the Exhibit A scope of work. But I did see another question. I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, about inputting a P6 schedule into, and that I'll let you expand on it more, but yes, you can do it. I've done it by uploading it in PDF format.
Okay.
Now, depending on the complexity of your schedule,
Okay.
it can be tricky to a degree.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, so maybe if I don't know, I don't think the next webinar will be about this topic, but maybe one of the webinars we can test those and try them. Let me answer the easy ones. What LLM, what large language models underpin Togal.GPT? It is OpenAI GPT-4. We are using an exclusive API that they are giving to certain companies that so we had to apply, build a use case, not use case, like a case for why we need it, what are we solving, which industry we're solving for. We had to wait like 3 or 4 weeks. All like our CTO obviously did all of this, and thanks for him, we were able to access this exclusive API from OpenAI, how it's being integrated with your subcontractors, with your subcontracts. I'm assuming it's like basically you can upload your subcontracts and ask them questions on Togal.GPT. And if you want to learn how to use it, we have a video on YouTube called GPT, something like that. And I'm showing how you can upload the documents and ask the questions. Let me answer another couple of more. How are you? WhatsApp app with Togal. How are we incorporating WhatsApp with Togal? So again, we are doing this for like companies that reach out and want this specifically. It's not for all our users because I like it will be for us. We're not able to sustain it because it's not directly part of the original product. It's something we built just to test with users. So if you are interested and your company is interested in something like that, please reach out to us. Reach out to me. My email is johnny@togal.ai, or any of us, sales@togal.ai, support@togal.ai, any of those emails, please reach out and we will answer. Is Togal.AI currently able to utilize by mechanical insulation subcontractors? This is a long question, but if you're talking about the Togal.GPT, 100%, you can upload any type of documents, any type of written documents, and it will work for you. For the takeoff side, the AI, we are releasing a feature for mechanical and electrical, and I think it will be out in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Again, if you want to check with us separately, we can do that. Other languages, Amir, in Arabic, I don't know if it works بالعربي, but I'm sure with German most probably, but again, we're not sure. I never tested it, but I can test it and get back to you. Let me ask on the plans to find out product models in name schedule. So there is a question says, can questions be asked on plans to find out what product model is named schedule on the plans? 100%. This is one of the stuff that I think also Scott have used Togal for.
Yeah, if you feed it,
Yes,
for
Scott.
example, your RFI responses or stuff like that, you'll be able to get that information as well. Or if depending on what plans you upload, it'll be able to answer those questions. Yes.
Yep.
And then the other thing about using the WhatsApp, Johnny, aren't you working on a way so that you don't have to hit Control-Shift-G?
Yes, but I think people maybe want it on the phone, mobile, on the mobile, on WhatsApp. But yes,
But you could use that in your browser, no?
Yeah, you can use it in your browser, I think. But
On your
I
phone.
think people like apps a little bit more.
Okay.
Yep. So Scott, thank you so much for all the use cases you gave us. Again, we know you are busy. I'm sure you locked the door. I saw people coming in. So thank you for that. Say sorry for the job site team. Thank you everyone for attending. We really appreciate it. Thank you for being part of this journey. We are really trying to build the best quantity takeoff tool in the market, period. So with your help, with your user feedback, with your embracing this journey and this innovation of making our industry better, we thank you again. And any questions, as Carly posted, reach out to me or anybody in Togal, and we are more than happy to hear your feedback, requests, or anything like that. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Stay safe, and we will see you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.